do anything else, let me go ahead and turn this over to Lion Brian, who has generously once again done the technology for this. So Brian, set us straight.
Okay, welcome everybody. Let's do a little housekeeping. First of all, everybody please unmute yourself. Everyone should be unmuted. I'm going to mute everybody. And then if you raise your hands, I will be able to quickly call on you. It's a lot easier than saying, hey, you're self-muted. So everyone please unmute. That means Charles, Moffat, Kevin, Joyce is unmuted. Mark, I'm still waiting on. Robinson, Bob, some of you are very good at self-unmuting. I'm going to kill the background noise, Kaz, in just a minute. So don't sweat that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. I have muted everybody in the audience, but if you raise your hand, and I'll get to that in a moment, I'll be able to unmute you very quickly. Please do not touch your mute button once you're unmuted. Okay, so here's your web version that you're looking at. And as you can see, this is the one that is the new default for GoToTraining. When you first come in, they're going to put you in the web version. This little purple flower up here that I just circled, that's if you want to go to desktop, that's what you'll click. And also your camera's in there if you're a sharer. And you can go to desktop and it's easier to share camera. That's where the controls are, is in that purple flower. Beneath that is the green microphone. That is your mic. A little bubble will come up when I unmute you. Right now you should all be unmuted. And if you raise your hand, which is the next button, I call on you, you'll get a bubble that says you are unmuted, or you should. Speaking of other things, if you're having a problem with your mic or your camera in the desktop version where the other circle is, there might be a flashing symbol that says you got to give permission, because the web sometimes, your browser needs to get permission to use your mic or your camera. So if you got a flashing symbol that's possibly red, you might run your mouse over it and see what it tells you. Under the green hand, we have the little people that will show you the list of who is here. Everybody can see that list. Right now, there are 25 of you, and I welcome you all. Beneath that is your chat bubble. You can click if you want to send a message or ask a question and don't wish to raise your hand, you can type it. CC Barb is helping me by watching for questions, and she'll either answer them back or she'll announce it to whoever is speaking on their subject. Now, if you've chosen to go to the desktop version we all know and love, maybe, this is our desktop version, more or less. It all looks about the same. Here we go. So this one arrow will shrink it out of the way. You'll notice you have an audio and possibly a camera panel. If there's a problem, you can go in there and see what your settings are for your mic and your camera. That way, that's a place where you can troubleshoot. The mic button is here. Again, once you're unmuted, just don't mess with it. If I unmute you to speak, you'll get a little yellow bubble that says you're unmuted. The hand is here. Raise your hand to speak or be recognized. Unless you're on the agenda, I've already got my list, and I will be unmuting you just as Sheila gets to you, so don't have to panic. This is where the materials are. Today, you've got the agenda, which you can download, and a copy of the Quick Start Guide. So if you don't have an agenda, it's under materials. Down here, which is our chat box, you write the chat on the bottom, you hit submit, it shows up on top, and it will be read out or it will be answered by Barb. Also, I might drop a note if I have like 5 people in line. I might say to a couple people, you're coming up, so that you know you're being seen. So that are all the controls. Are there any questions right now before I hand this back to Keith? Anybody have a question about how all this works, or anything else regarding our controls? Any questions? Going once, going twice. I either put them to sleep for you, Keith, or they all understand. I'm not quite sure which, but hopefully they're awake.
Okay.
Keith, it's all yours. I'm going to be here, but I'm going to hide.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brian, I just texted you. Somebody's having trouble getting on. If you would look at that while we're here. Once again, thank you all for being here. We now call this meeting to order. We've got an impressive list of attendees, and I hope you will forgive me for not reading them all, or that'll take up our entire 2-hour allotment of all the accomplishments and things that we've done here. I do want to point out 2 specifically, though. Our current council chair, Lion Barbara Daly, is on here today. and our past international president, Joe Preston, are on here today. So I thank you both very much for being here. We appreciate you taking time to be with us. And I do acknowledge our multiple past council chairs, past district governors, and international directors who have chosen to join us today. We appreciate that very much. We'll proceed as bringing up my here. Let's go to the next slide, Brian.
Sorry, I was answering your text or working with Richard. There you go.
Well, I appreciate that immensely. If Chris has gotten signed back on, I've invited our immediate past district governor, Chris Gibbs, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Oh, I need to, there you go, Chris, you're unmuted.
Okay, I'm sorry I don't have a camera, but please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And is Richard been able to get on okay?
No, I'm still working. I'm not sure what's going on. I suspect it's a browser issue for him, but I'm not entirely sure to leave and come back. So we'll see if that works.
Okay. Well, everybody likes to have something just thrown at them from out of the blue. I heard past council chair Larry Palmer on here, and since Richard is unable to connect technologically, would you mind leading us in the Lions Toast PCC, Larry?
All right, please join me, not above you, not below you, but with you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Simple words, but pretty important. On your agenda, you'll see established protocol, and I guess it's bad when you mess up establishing protocol. I've already gotten that out of order, but I did do the very abbreviated protocol. So thank you very much. I'll turn the time over now to our cabinet secretary for her last time ever to do a full roll call in whatever method she chooses.
Very good, thank you. For our roll call, we will go off of the attendee list. Line Brian provides it to me. I'm able to see who's attended, their club, and that then becomes part of the minutes. So as of this, welcome everyone, and we will proceed on to the next slide. There we go. So the minutes were sent out, and I did receive some email responses on receiving it. So at this point, I would like to ask for approval of the minutes from our third cabinet meeting. Do I have a motion?
I've unmuted Chris.
I move to accept. I'm sorry, I still don't have a camera.
All right, we can hear you.
We're doing okay without your face. Your voice is good.
I have a face built for radio.
Nice. Do I have a second?
I think Les has his hand up. I think maybe he does. Les.
Second.
Thank you very much. The minutes are approved. And as far as final thoughts, I wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to thank both immediate past District Governor Chris and District Governor Keith for giving me the opportunity to learn what it's like to be a district secretary. I will never forgive you for it, but it has been quite a learning experience, and it's actually given me an opportunity to meet, even virtually, so many of our members and clubs. So I thank you for that. I thank all the clubs for participating and engaging in all my various emails that I send out to them. And please be supportive as we proceed on into our new Lion year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And turn the time over now to our cabinet treasurer, Sandy Schiff.
I have not seen him on the list. Oh, he just came. Sandy, you're unmuted.
He was in there earlier.
I've got him now. He's unmuted. He's just got to unmute
Okay.
himself. While we're waiting, Lion Joni is with Joe Preston.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome.
Sandy, you're still self-muted. I can't unmute you. I've unmuted you, but you're self-muted, Sandy.
I see a green light now. How's that?
That is good. Now I hear you, sir.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for allowing the secretary to speak first. She deserves it. She's been amazing and has served us well in the cabinet as well as our district. And thank you, Brian, for everything you do and all the life preservers you throw out to haul us back to shore and unmute ourselves. As you can see by the slide in front of you, this is a snapshot from yesterday where we stand at Wells Fargo Bank, where our money is safe. So our operating account has a balance, as you can see, of nearly $8,500. We'll need some of that to clean up the mess at the end of the year, and we'll have a lot left over for you guys to figure out what to do with. Whatever is left over after everybody's done goes into our market rate savings account, and right now we're at about $29,900, as you can see there in the middle of your screen. That is wonderful, and after the redistricting at the beginning of this year, and we walked away as 21 South, we now have 51 Lions clubs, and as of yesterday, that puts us up to 1,197 members, as you can see at the top of the page. All of our multiple district, our Lions Club International statements have been paid in full by our district. So what that means is we pay the dues for all the members, and only 9 of the 51 clubs are a little behind on paying their dues. And of those 9 clubs, 2 of those clubs account for 50% of the total. Remarkably, several of our 21S clubs have continued to meet weekly and stay active despite the weather and the pandemic. We've emerged from the pandemic strong, and one of the ways we've been meeting is because in my club we call them the Zoomers that meet from a distance, and the bold ones who meet in person. We all passionately serve the community with our labors, our imagination, our partnerships we've used to provide food and transportation, and what I'll say intelligent engineering and compassion. Lions serve and Lions lead. Thank you for the trust, allowing me to protect our funds and keep our district safe and strong to face our next year of service. Respectfully, District Treasurer Schiff. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you for, I'll mention some other things later, but thank you for your report and thank you for your service. It's been an interesting year, and you've all overcome some challenges none of us ever would have seen. As we proceed now, I want to just tell you that this is we look at this as a time to celebrate. Even though we've had a most unusual year, there have been some great successes of individual Lions, of clubs, and district-wide. I want to keep positive, but one of the disappointments, though, has been not being able to get out and see people. In that immediate past, Governor Chris experienced this for the last third of his term, actually nearly half of his term, and that's continued through all of mine. So the people we've never seen face to face. LCI has done a wonderful job of trying to deal with issues that they have from working from home, but that meant sometimes there were delays in technology and having things uploaded. So a lot of things that have happened we maybe haven't known about as much as we have in years past. And because we haven't been able to see people's faces, sometimes we know what people have done, but unfortunately maybe those names haven't always been attached to it. And so I've asked our region chairs to give any highlights that they've seen throughout the year for us as they're closer to it. And I can't thank them enough. This really was probably more than any other year. The region chairs were really relied upon because they were closer to those clubs, and they were maybe even more independent than they were planning to be, because we literally never ever got together face to face as a group, and to see the clubs continue to serve and function is a testament to them. So anyway, I would like to begin by inviting the chair of our East region, past District Governor Normand. I'll turn the time over to you, sir.
So Brian, if you could go to the next slide, please. And the next. So one of the things I did was our governor had asked for this to be very upbeat and really focus on our successes this past year. So what I did was I went out on Facebook, out on social media, to find all the pictures that had been shared, giving us that public facing message that we're out there, we're working in our communities. And so what I've done is kind of put together some spotlights for each of the clubs. This first slide shows Globe on their service date this past Saturday. Next slide. Next slide. And here you can see that again, Globe has been very active with their Project ACE, providing food to the food banks and working together. And even in mass, I love seeing the smiles, because even though you cannot see their mouths, you can see their eyes smiling, and it's still showing that they really are enjoying what they're doing. And I believe that is oh no, one more. Next slide. There we go. Safford. Almost forgot Safford. We need to work with Safford, who does so much service of getting more presence online. So I would highly recommend that you identify somebody from your marketing to get those pictures taken, and have someone assigned and get that out there so that we can see what everyone is doing. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to the region chair and allow him to give some words about his region. Oh, you're muted.
How about now?
Perfect.
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to extend a big thank you beyond the accomplishments of the clubs that have been shown in front of us. And first is I'd like to give a real round of applause and a thank you to PCC Larry Palmer for the work that he's done with the Eloy Club, and he's brought that club back, and they're doing a great job taking care of their community. Along with that, I'd like to also thank PCC John Hart, who I understand is on the phone or is listening in, for putting together the Florence Lions Club. And in Florence, they have done quite a bit of work there, and John was a big asset to them. And we also, and I participated in it this morning, do pass out food. The United Food Bank in Florence every last Friday of the month has a food drive, and we pass out food to those in need. Also like to thank Brian for all the work he's done with the communications and setting up these webinars and everything. It's been a real great chance to meet some of you and get to know some of you better, and by faces, etc. Also, I'd like to thank our cabinet secretary for the great job she's done and the help that she has assisted all of us, and especially myself anyway, being new to the area. And also a big thank you out to Bobby Ravenkamp for all that she's done and continues to do, and keeps us ahead of things. And last but not least, Governor Keith, I want to thank you for your service, for the work that you have done and continue to do. And thank you for the opportunity to serve on this great Arizona 21S cabinet this year. With that, I wish you all good luck and look forward to hearing the rest of the region's reports. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. What you've done this year and for preparing the report there. Next, I've invited our Metro Region Chair, past District Governor Jim Sternberg, and I think that Cabinet Secretary Sheila has something to show first for you.
I do. Going to highlight the region here. So we kick it off here with ASU holiday wrapping. I now know where to go when it's Christmas time and I need some help. It obviously looks like these guys know what they're doing. Next slide, please. And we have our mask brigade because what's a pandemic? Does that make us stop serving? Heavens no, we just make the masks and give them out. And again, I just love the fact that we can see the smiles in the eyes. Even though we're masked, we're still serving. Next slide, please. And here we have Chandler Sunbird handing out laptops. We had Chandler and the Leos doing stocking stuffers, and ASU working in collaboration with law enforcement. So again, the creativity, the variety of activities are just phenomenal. Next slide, please. Click. Here we go. And this one, we have Mesa Thunderbirds. So we have backpacks, we've got stocking stuffers, we've got golf tournaments. But down in the right-hand corner, we have art as a service. And our very own past international president, Joe Preston, did this beautiful picture that I believe is of the Sedona Mountains. Very nicely done. So, Region Chair, it's all yours.
Thank you, District Governor Keith, Lion dignitaries, and fellow Lions. I'm very proud of what the Lions Club in this region did, considering the adjustments that had to be made, meeting places adjusted, fundraising and service activities modified. Yet through all of this, most of the clubs have done a fantastic job taking care of their community, state projects, and LCIF. At the end of the season here, I've asked each club to make a list of all the activities and fundraisings that they have done. And this is not for my benefit, but for theirs. Often we go through the Lionistic year doing projects, and all of us are not aware of all the service we actually do. And when you sit back at the end of the year and review all those things and see it in print in front of you, it really makes an impact on a lot of the Lions. So, but overall, it's been a successful year considering everything, the modifications they had to go through.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, I appreciate your service and for your report here today. And Pat and PDG Jim in particular, I really didn't know Jim very well at all. I met him a few times, and he willingly accepted this. Obviously, like everybody else, not knowing what he was in for this year, and has done a wonderful job with his leadership. So once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Governor.
We'll move on to our Southern region. Region chair there is Muriel Stevens, and there really is it's not the same person as Sheila, despite what it shows on the screen right there. So I'll let you do the photo review, and then I guess switch seats for Muriel.
Okay. Absolutely. So I did miss a slide here for the Metro region. So donations to Camp Tatier, more food donations. I love the fact that when they were doing the fundraisers, they had music going on. So again, just such creative service. Next slide, please. All right, for the South. Now, this is a larger region, so sit back in your chairs and relax because I've got a few slides here of pictures. This is a region that does very well at getting publicity out there on Facebook and showing the service that they do. So this was Catalina, Oro Valley, whether it's road cleanup or food giveaways, whatever it is. Next slide, please. For Cochise Stronghold, they do dinners and they were very active with the leader dog program. So you can see our little stuffed leader dog who's going out and about for a visit through town. Next slide. Huachuca City. They were doing a lot of work with Alert, with the glasses, as well as feeding the community. We had pancakes and barbecues and all sorts of different food get-togethers. So definitely their forte. Next slide. Sierra Vista, I absolutely loved seeing Lion Lori in her hippie days here. So I thought that was so cute. And Nogales shared pictures of the results from their peace poster support in their schools. Next slide. Verde Valley happens to be a club close to my own heart. And this year for Halloween, we did Paws on Parade. And so these are actually all friends or family member dogs that dressed up for Halloween. And it was a fundraiser and actually did quite well. So keep this in mind for October of this year. We'll be tapping on all of you to submit your pets all dressed up for Halloween. Next slide, please. So Tanque Verde also is involved with Alert. We've been making handmade cards, courtesy of Region Chair Muriel. She allows us to help her put together a number of these cards and card parts, and they're used as thank yous or encouragement throughout. We also support the environment, as well as on the right-hand corner, those were Easter bags that were given to Vision Quest, a boys' home. Next slide. Tucson downtown. I loved this picture that shows not only do we serve and meet a need, but we have fun while we're doing it. So this is showing their vision screening. Very involved. Next slide. And they were donating washers and dryers. They had all sorts of Valentine Easter bags and Christmas get-togethers. Next slide. They were very good at supporting their schools and showing appreciation to the teachers who truly had a very difficult time this year of having to shift to online, but it didn't change the fact that they were giving to our students, and the Lions are giving back to those teachers in appreciation. They also did a great job of honoring our first responders and those that were on the front line with Banner. Next slide. We have the newest edition of clubs, and that would be our Tucson Cyber Lions. This is a group that is not only growing, but it's very difficult to keep up with all the service that they are performing. They are always there. If you need a hand, they partner with everyone. But the variety of different service that they do is absolutely a best practice that we should all try to emulate. Next slide, please. They had a Thanksgiving get-together. So this is showing they had teamed with the school system and had different raffle places and greeting and blankets that they were giving away, the food that was being done. Next slide. Next slide. Looking for the turkey. There we go. Well, back up. We cannot miss Richard Stevenson as a turkey. Okay, I mean, that pretty much says it all. So obviously, Lions are willing to have fun, and whatever it takes to get people's attention, we do so. So thanks to the Cyber Lions. Next slide, please. So one of the things that I really appreciate and I'm starting to see more and more of is the different clubs partnering together. So through that power of partnership, each one of us may only be able to do so much, but when we start grouping together, we have more hands, more things that we can do. The Vision Quest is a special organization in Tucson for children that have had very difficult times in their lives. And so they're living in basically a group home situation and trying to really shift them off a path of potential involvement with the law and not a good way. So Vision Quest is being supported by the Tucson Wilmot Lioness, by Tucson Cyber, and by the Tanque Verde Lions Club. They are doing a variety of activities, from recently doing a garden, constantly collecting necessities for the house, whether it's toiletries or bedding. This was the first time many of them were having their own pillow and blanket and sheets for themselves that hadn't been hand-me-downs from someone else. So this group did well together with for Easter, making sure that the kids learned how to actually experience coloring eggs, or at Christmas time, doing different things that a normal family would do. Well, this is their family, and so we're just, being those mentors to them. So I thank these clubs for their fabulous service, and again, showing our district how together we're even stronger. Next slide, please. Might be the end. Nope. Okay, back up, and I'm going to trade places. So 1 minute. Tag for it.
Hello. I'm Muriel Stevens, and the South Region Chairperson. I have 20 clubs, and many have thought out of the box and found ways to serve. Several have posted pictures and articles to show us what they've been doing. Most of them have entered their service. We need to work on that area of entering your service hours on My Lion. Several of the clubs have started vision screening, mostly in preschools and charters. Several teams have geared up for the fall to start as early in the school year as possible. Several of the clubs have helped a lot with the area food banks, and that's still a need. I'm thrilled with my newest club, the Tucson Cyber Lions. They are on fire. Their membership is climbing. They have their charter and all their tax papers filed and registered their new officers in timely fashion. They have racked up more service hours than the other clubs combined. They have an outstanding charter party planned on Zoom at 2 p.m. May the 8th. It is nationwide with friends from all over wishing them well. I suggest you register for this special party. You do not want to miss it. The active clubs in the South region will survive. I wish them well. It has been interesting to serve as their region chairperson. Thank you, Muriel Stevens.
Thank you very much, Muriel. I'm impressed with what you continue to do and what you've done over the years, and we're blessed to have you here with us. Thank you very much for that report as well. And our final report today will be from our West region, and the people in the West region know about the West region. A lot of us out here don't. This is kind of new and exciting for us this year. And so I'm going to turn some time over to our past district governor, Les Daubier, to highlight the West region, please.
The next slide, Brian. So our West region is made up of clubs, as Keith said, that we don't really know much about, but we do know that the Buckeye Lions Club is active. And this shows some of the different activities and collections, donations that they've been able to make. The center picture, in case you don't recognize him, will be our incoming district governor, Richard Hopkins. He's hiding behind the red, white, and blue flag mask. So Les, it's all to you now.
Oh, thank you very much, District Governor, dignitaries. I guess I'd like to say that I think everyone here is a dignitary because we're all standing together, no matter what the challenge is. And this year, the challenge was rather formidable, to make this world just a little bit better for those who are less less fortunate than we are. You've talked a little bit about Buckeye. There are 7 clubs in the West region. These clubs are separated by distances that are probably, in many cases, on an average, further apart than the size of many multiple districts or whole districts. They go from Yuma on the Colorado River to down south to the Mexican border in Ajo, into Tolleson in Gila Bend kind of in the middle. And I'll tell you something about Gila Bend in a minute. And then Levine at South Mountain and in that part of the valley. But I will tell you this, the pandemic did not cause them to quit. The word was pivot. And that's exactly what they did. And they didn't have to be told to do it. As an example, down Yuma, they took the time, even through the pandemic and COVID, to come become state certified vision and hearing screeners, so they could go back into their community and do a better job. And through my help, they were also able to acquire the technical tools, the spot machines and the audiometers to do their job from the Lions Vision and Hearing Foundation. Gila Bend had a rather interesting challenge. We've all heard about the great migration into the United States since the new administration took over. Well, a lot of those folks were being brought in were being dropped in Gila Bend because that was the closest place that they found a town, so to speak. And the Gila Bend Lions did their very best to make do with that and to try to help provide the necessities that these people that were being rooted there for a period of time until they could be moved elsewhere, sorely needed. And I think this is important to realize that this is a club that's got about 6 members. But as they do always, when there's a need in the community, they gather with the other service organizations and they get the job done. And they have certainly done that. So I can't really fault them for the fact that they are a little, they don't pay a whole lot of attention to reporting. They're out doing the job. But and in today's times, when we couldn't travel, it was difficult to get down and help them. But I'm very confident that in this next year, as we go back towards normalcy, that we will see this club once again blossom. Gila Bend is rather interesting because you could say that probably 95% of the whole community is below the poverty line, but yet they survive. Ajo down in the south, similar thing. They have been virtually inactive not because they chose to, but because the fact that the town is, because of COVID, has not gotten its influx of seasonal visitors and seasonal residents. So their biggest service is the fact that they are, since there's nothing close to them, they're the ones that have taken on the responsibility to make sure that the young people in the schools get the vision and hearing attention that is needed. Buckeye, we've talked about, but I think Buckeye should also be applauded because they took on an interesting challenge. This is a rebuilding challenge of the Goodyear Lions Club. In a time when you can't go out and physically recruit, they've managed. They haven't quit. I can't say that the Goodyear Lions Club is now huge. It's not. But the fact of the matter is, it is still on the books, and it'll continue to be on the books. And as the abilities to recruit present themselves again, I know that club will come back. That club has been around for a long time. Levine Lions in the South Valley, pivot is their mainstay, and what they did this time, because of COVID and the restrictions that were being placed upon them, they partnered with 3 other churches and decided that they were going to help feed the people in the community that didn't have that were out of work. They'd always done this to some degree, but they took it on in a big way this time through their partnership also with St. Mary's Food Bank. They have to date conducted 16 food service events. They have distributed over 30,000 pounds of food to thousands of people. And these people are not just those in the community of Levine, but those that are on the perimeter that have needs, and you know, they let the word get out that hey, we're doing this, and every time that their food supply event takes place, the cars line up, and if it's a rush hour, it's sometimes a little difficult for those who are working and trying to get out and get to work because of the people that are there waiting to take home some food so that their families can eat. But this isn't all that Levine has done. They also this year once again at Christmas time provided food baskets to 5 needy families in each of the 9 schools in the school district, and also to 5 senior families. So that's 50 families. Now they couldn't have fundraisers, so the Lions themselves reached in their jeans and funded this project because people needed to know that that holiday times are still a time for joy and not just a time for for sorrow. And part of what happens at this time is that each of the families are adopted by a Lions member or more than one, and so that each of the children gets something for them to open on Christmas Day. In all, I would say, and I thank Richard Stevenson for his very able work that he did in hosting his. We had 3 zone meetings that were well attended, and we were able to keep in touch with the clubs. Some of the clubs are not answering their phone, and they're not answering their email, but he keeps trying, and that's all we can do at this point in time until we rise up and get our heads further above water out of the COVID. But it's been an interesting challenge, but it's been to me a very worthwhile challenge for all of us, because it shows that we haven't forgotten why we became Lions and what we do. And I thank all of you.
Thank you. Back to you, Keith.
All right, thank you very much, Lion Les. I've appreciated what you've done this year. We appreciate your report today, and I appreciate the years of friendship that you've extended to me over the years, and congratulations on a job well done there. Okay. So move on to the next slide. Maybe even one more.
There we go.
Okay, very good. This is the fun part, at least the fun part for me. Cover a little bit of this year. The important things have already been discussed there. The service that's out there of our clubs and Lions. At the beginning of the year, we didn't know how long the COVID situation would last. There was also some unrest in the country, and there was a lot of concern about what Lions Club and our district specifically would look like at the end of the year. How many people would we lose? How would we adapt to this? And I'll tell you, I think we've adapted very well. We began the year at 1,189 members, and it literally fluctuates from day to day. But last night, when we closed the day, we were at 1,197 members, which is an increase of 8 members over the year. And I think, especially this year, that really is something to be proud of, that we've gone up instead of down. We've talked to many people about the new Tucson Cyber Lions Club, which is really cool. That's wonderful that Richard has not just brought a new club, but brought a new way to serve, a new way for people to participate. So we do have one new club. However, I want to mention a couple of other ones too. At the beginning of the year, there were 48 clubs in the district, and now there are 51, but only one of those counts as a new club. We had 2 that before the year began had canceled their charters and no longer existed. That's the Goodyear Club and the Tempe Club. Through the work of various people, those have both been reinstated, brought current, have members in them again. And while they're just starting, they are functioning now. And so there are 3 clubs that are functioning now that did not exist at that time. There are 2 other clubs that had been struggling for a long time and voted to disband, get rid of their money, the members go elsewhere. And lucky for me, instead of doing it on June 30th, they did it on July 1st. So my first day as governor, I lost 24 members right out of the gate. And those were Benson and Eloy. However, in each of those clubs, as I literally called every single member on the roster, I found one person in Benson and one person in Eloy who wanted to continue those clubs. And they've built those. Eloy in particular is a strong and functioning club again. So there are 5 clubs that we probably did not expect to have on our roster that we do now. Of course, there are always clubs that are struggling. There's some we've identified now that we're putting some plans into place to make sure we keep the rest of our clubs. I want to thank all of you for what you've done this year. Each individual member out there, I congratulate you. Each club, the club officers, secretaries, treasurers, presidents, I appreciate your efforts very much. Our outstanding zone chairs that weren't able to go and do, part of being in leadership, there's a lot of work, but there's some fun in it. And some of that fun is getting out and meeting people and participating with them. And a lot of you kind of got cheated out of this year, but you did it anyway. And I appreciate that more than you know. The people that I've worked with closest are the ones I'll talk about a little bit more as we go forward. I do want to mention that there will be a few awards to people in our district tomorrow at the multiple district convention that are recognized from the multiple district. There are 3 people that have received some international awards that are going to receive those today, though. Due to their situations, they were able to participate today and not tomorrow. And our past international president Lion Joe Preston has prepared those awards. They've already been presented to them, but he recorded a short presentation. And so if you got that queued up, Lion Brian, I would ask you to please show Lion Joe virtually. Is this working for anybody or just not me?
There's no sound.
Is this fixable, Lion Brian, or?
When I ran it earlier, there was sound. Hold on a second.
These certificates read, recognition with gratitude and of appreciation of our association, I have hereunto affixed my signature during this Lions Year 2020.
My PowerPoint just crashed. Give me a second.
I can read the names if we have to, but we can bear with a couple of minutes. We would love to hear PIP Joe if that's possible.
And David and
hear
Joanne
it?
Blatt. On behalf of International President
Can you hear it?
Chung Choi and District Governor Keith Alexander,
Yes.
it's my honor and pleasure to award you each the fourth highest recognition for Lions Clubs International, the International President's Certificate of Appreciation. You were recommended for your dedication and your commitment to Lions Clubs International as active leaders and members of the Casa Grande Lions Club, and more recently as the South Tucson Cyber Lions Club. Thank you for helping to build our membership, developing our leaders, strengthening your clubs, and really furthering the ideals and humanitarian principles of our association. These certificates read, in recognition with gratitude and of appreciation of our association, I have hereunto affixed my signature during this Lions Year 2020-2021, and is signed by Dr. Chung Choi, International President. At the bottom, it reads, united in kindness and diversity. Lions Gary, Cheryl, David, and Joanne, congratulations and thank you for your service as Lions. District Governor Keith will present you the official certificates.
Thank you very much. Thank you, President Joe, for doing that, for taking time out and recognizing them. If you didn't hear the last names, that's Joanne and David Blatt and Cheryl and Gary Seat, who are at least the seats are moving elsewhere. I was privileged to go and present them to them along with the zone chair and club president Richard Stevenson. Wonderful things. So thank you, Lion Seat and Blatt, and thank you, Lion Joe, for doing this, and thank you, Lion Richard, for preparing those nominations and putting it through there. Well, those people I've worked closest with, you have no idea how much I appreciate you. Our first Vice District Governor is Richard Hopkins. I've appreciated his help and support as we've gone through the year. This is somebody who does not have an easy job. As you know, when our districts were combined, he came into the district. He had already been the first Vice District Governor, primarily because the vast majority of the district would be brand new to him. He agreed and decided that he would serve as the first Vice District Governor a second year, so that he could learn the district and learn the people there. He was not able to do that because of COVID, because people weren't meeting. But I appreciate his efforts and willingness to do that. I appreciate the discussions we've had with him, and I pledge my support as our new district governor next year, and encourage you to do the same. I think it's going to be a great year as we get back to normal. My second Vice District Governor, Lion Jim Kuhn. I appreciate the efforts that that you have made. I see him more often because he's in my club. Circumstances have changed where he's not going to continue as a vice district governor next year, but I appreciate what he's done. We've got some projects that our district, our multiple district and international does, and those are Lions Clubs International Foundation, which you know about, the Melvin Jones Memorial, the Arizona Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation, Camp Tautier, the Lions Foundation of Arizona, and of course our own Alert and C. Kirby Smith foundations. So Lion Richard, Lion Jim, if you'll let me know which of those you would like, we're going to make a contribution in your name to the Lions project of your choice in recognition of your work here. Our Global Action team members, our service chair, which technically it's Global Service team. I refer to him as chair because it's easier. Our service chair has been Chris Gibbs. There's not much to say about Chris. You know, he is Mr. Service. He doesn't have to have this title to be the service champion for the district, and I'm amazed at what he does. The reason he thought he may be late today is because he was doing service for a club project and is fitting this in so we can then go to another one. Our membership chair is Ed Lopez. To help you understand Ed just a little bit, because a lot of you don't know him. We have some clubs in our district that do an amazing amount of service, but we don't know about it because they don't always report it. But that doesn't mean that they're not extremely valuable. And the Morenci Club is one of those. And the reason I say that is Ed Lopez is from Morenci. And so that may explain some people say they don't know who he is. He has traveled throughout the district with me on occasions I've been able to go to clubs. He's been laying the groundwork in various places, made trips to Casa Grande as we're looking to start a club there again. He's identified people that have agreed to join enthusiastically in Benson. He's helped me with the Eastern Arizona Lions Club, which we hoped to charter, but virtual classes did not make that suitable. But if you look at our roster, we've got a lot of college members in the parent club there, and that will come forth. And finally, our leadership chair is just really amazing. Lori Gens, what a challenging year in time to try to conduct trainings. And she didn't just do it, she excelled. She developed new ways to train people. In groups, individually, prepared documents and sent it out, really laid a foundation of exceptional training, which will go for years and years to come. I can't say enough. I'm dumbfounded by what she has done, and I appreciate it greatly. And so usually at the end of the year, our service chairs, our chairs rather, get a certificate or something that thanks them for it. I just want each of you to know that yours will have the word outstanding in front of it, because you have unusual situations and have performed in an outstanding way. And the contribution will be made to the Lions project of your choice, in your name, as if you will let me know though. So thank you very much for your truly outstanding service. I spoke earlier about our four region chairs, Lions Jim, Norman, Les, and Muriel, and how they really were kind of small, junior, whatever you want to call it, district governors, because that's what the reality of the situation was. Truly amazing. I'll also add, with Les being on the bylaws and parliamentarian, I relied on him heavily for many things. And I'm happy to say nothing we did has been formally challenged. So good for you, Les, and good for us. So again, you are all outstanding region chairs, and the certificate you receive will say outstanding. And we are honored to make a contribution in your name to a Lions service project of your choice. And so as you'll send those to me, that will happen, and you'll be credited with those contributions. So thank you very much. The two that worked closest with me are our secretary and treasurer. And I want to both thank you for how much you have done and apologize for how much you have had to do. Lion Sheila reminds me what needs to be done. She helps me do it, and then she reminds me again, and then she finally just does it for me so that it's done properly and correctly. And this is with all the other things she has to do. So she's kind of a shadow district governor, and I don't think people realize that. But so when I say she's been an outstanding secretary, she truly has. It's been an absolute honor to serve with her and have her there and really run our district for us. So thank you very much. Lion Sandy, I didn't really know anything about a treasurer position, but he did, and he learned last year. He got a lot of on-the-job training, agreed to stay. I should mention Sheila stayed for a second year again. They both learned under Lion Chris. One of the interesting line that Sandy did as well, since we didn't have some of the expenses we've had in other years, we had a little bit of money, and so a couple of our clubs that had gotten in arrears that had decided to fold, in order to come back, they had balances due from members who were no longer in the picture, who were gone, and came up with a way for us to pay a portion of that. To allow those clubs to grow and flourish and not have to try to backfill what previous leaders and previous members had frankly, some messes they had left behind. So I'm glad we're able to do that, and I appreciate that he brought that initiative forward. So Lion Sandy and Lion Sheila, both of you, thank you so much for all that you've done. The success we have are truly because of the two of you. And as you let me know, we will be making a contribution to the Lions project of your choice as well. I'm sure Sandy, it will be Count Tadier, and if that's incorrect, you can let me know. And Lion Sheila, let me know where you would like that to go in your name.
Okay.
There's some other people we've worked with throughout the year I'd like to mention. People have spoken about Richard Stevenson being a zone chair in 2 different zones, starting a new club, and then being the president of it. He was our marketing person. He mentioned that the presidential awards, he jump-started those, went to Casa Grande and helped us do that, and is involved in everything. And so Lion Richard is receiving our Spark Plug Award because he truly does spark so many things. And we will be making a contribution to the project of your choice, Lion Richard. So thank you very much for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. I do want to thank one person from outside of our district. Our host today, Lion Brian Wolshin, when he's been in this position for a while, and when he agreed to do it, he had some idea of what was in store for him. He couldn't have known that we would be doing everything virtual for an entire year and relying upon him with a bunch of us amateurs who have never done it before, as well as helping with individual clubs, answering emails literally in the middle of the night, texting all day while he's trying to do a job and do other things as well. I was talking about all the things he does, and somebody said that he's like a Mr. Roboto out there. I'm not sure how that fits, but it sounded right, and I kind of think so. He's kind of just automated and keeps going. So our first Mr. Roboto Award, which is what it says on the certificate, goes to Lion Brian. We appreciate all that you do for us. So arigato. Continuing on, there's a saying out there where people say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Actually, sometimes you can teach an old dog new tricks, and even more than that, sometimes an old dog can teach you new tricks. So I've got 3 awards here, and these awards are the Old Dogs Can Teach New Tricks Award. And these awards go to past District Governor Larry Palmer, past District Governor John Hart, and past District Governor Fred Garmanson. They have helped as part of the past District Governor initiative to rejuvenate clubs. You've heard the story of Florence, which began before my term. They had been one member for many years, and Lion John really brought that back. They're doing wonderful things. I mentioned the Eloy Club earlier. They were down to one member. Got over a dozen members now, doing multiple projects, and that is primarily because of past District Governor Larry Palmer, who has taken them under his wings, transferred his membership there, and rebuilt that club. Lion Fred helped us lay some groundwork for Casa Grande. He's got some other pressures on his time that'll take him elsewhere. But he made trips down there, introduced us to members of the community as well as former Lions members. And as we turn this over to incoming District Governor Richard Hopkins, we believe that the groundwork has definitely been made for there to once again be a functioning Lions Club in Casa Grande. So to the old dogs teaching us new tricks, I appreciate it very much. And we will be honored to make a contribution in your name to one of the projects of your choice. Next one thing I'd like to talk about, y'all know what a bulldog is, and sometimes people refer to somebody as a bulldog. That person's just a bulldog, which means they take hold of something, they don't let go, they push it through, they're aggressive in doing it, and sometimes that's important. That's what we focus on. Those of you who know bulldogs, though, also know that they work very hard. They're tenacious. They are extremely loyal, they're protective, and they look out for each other. So some very strong qualities. And so the Bulldog Award for the district, I'm giving this to Bobby Ravencamp. I think all of those things apply to her very much. She reminds me constantly what should be done. She doesn't let it go, but she's fiercely loyal. She does anything that is asked of her. She's supportive of me and my efforts, even when I fall short. She's supportive of other people, her own club, the district and the multiple district. And for that, I thank you. And I'm honored to give you the Bulldog Award, Lion Bobby. So as you will actually, I don't even have to ask you where you want your contribution to go. In your name, we are making a contribution to Lions Club's International Foundation. So thank you very much. And on a personal, thank you for your mentorship over the years and for what you've continued to do. We have a Lion who's done a wonderful job for many, many years, and circumstances are such that he's apparently not going to be in Lions after many, many years. He's served as zone chair, president, region chair, virtually every committee that there is. The last couple of years, he's been extremely involved in our LEO's program and bringing in the next group of potential Lions. So I'm honored to present and provide a contribution in your name, a District Award of Merit to Lion Al Hunter. Al, thank you for what you've done. We hope you change your mind, but we wish you well in your new endeavors. And if it's okay, Brian, if Al would like to say something, I'd like to turn some time over to him. And I realize the odds of Al saying he doesn't want to say something is close to zero. But if you would invite Al, I'd like to give him just a couple of minutes. Sorry for throwing you a curve, Brian.
He's not on there,
yourself.
Keith, he's not on.
Oh, did he?
Al's
okay.
not on.
All right, he was.
Okay, Al's not there.
He was earlier, but that's okay. Okay, that's why we couldn't find him again. Well, thank you very much anyway. As I'm approaching the end here, a really hard award to come up with was Club of the Year. As you heard our region chairs report, we've just had amazing things that clubs have done throughout the year with extremely difficult circumstances. However, having said that, I think you look at, I look at where clubs started on July 1st and where they are now. And when I see a club with one member and no money and no activities, and look at them now with over a dozen members meeting regularly, training their officers and participating and reporting projects over and over again. It became very clear, and so we're the club of the year is our Eloy Lions Club, and I've talked about the contributions we're making and individuals named for the awards that they won. I want to tell you that the Eloy Lions Club, to help you continue on in what you're doing in service and help, we're going to make a contribution in the name of the Eloy Lions Club to Lions Club International Foundation and the Melvin Jones Memorial and the Arizona Lions Sight Hearing Foundation, to Camp Taudier, to the Lions Foundation of Arizona, to Alert, and to C. Kirby Smith, because we know that these are projects that you'll support going forward, and we will help you do this now, and we appreciate that. And Lion Larry, would you like to say anything on behalf of the Eloy Lions Club?
Yes, it's a.
Brian, have we got?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
It's a big surprise and a great honor, and the Eloy Lions Club is on the road to recovery. We are doing service projects, as our governor has mentioned. We are getting our officers trained, so at some time in the future I can return to my home club, but that won't be for a while. But I certainly appreciate this honor, and I will certainly share it with our club members as we meet next Tuesday evening. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all you've done, and please extend our congratulations and gratitude to the members of the club there, Lion Larry. Now come to the District Lion of the Year, and I want to tell you that this is the District Lions of the Year. There are actually two of these, and once again we'll make a contribution to the project of your choice, of your joint choice. We have two people who have served together for many years throughout in this district. Things that have happened this year under COVID circumstances, as well as their own personal circumstances of relocating, are amazing. You probably already know who this is, but one of them, of course, has been running Alert for years and has done that through the pandemic, has reached out to other clubs and kept that going. The other not only has rejuvenated the Florence Club, but initially reluctantly, but then enthusiastically agreed to be the zone chair in that region and assisted with other clubs there. And so I really am proud and pleased to tell you that our Lions of the Year are John and Dory Hart. They've also been friends of mine forever. I appreciate their mentorship. We're going to miss you more than you know. John texted me a picture, and it's in a format that Brian couldn't upload it easily, so I don't know if I can get this on camera or not, but that's the picture outside their house on the veranda overlooking the golf course and the pool. So I am at least happy to say that they are adjusting well to Florida. They say they miss us, but when I see this, it makes me wonder how much. If I've seen John pop on there and off a time or two, if you and Dory are still there, I'll be happy to give you a couple of moments to speak if you would like that.
You're unmuted, John.
Thank you, District Governor Chief Keith, and all the Lions of District 21S. Yes, Dory and I are in our new digs in Shalimar, Florida, trying to get used to all this green that we see. Instead of brown rocks, now we're looking at green grass, green trees. Our pool is right outside our front window, and we're just enjoying life. If you could see behind me, you'd still see a whole bunch of boxes because we haven't even gotten, well, maybe about halfway through unpacking, but we've got a lot of time to do it. So we're in no big hurry. We really enjoyed all the work that well, it wasn't really work, all the service activities we were involved in Arizona. Somebody once said that if you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. And that was very applicable to our activities in Lionism in Arizona, as well as down in Mexico. Thank you all very much. We will stay in touch and we will be involved in Lions both here and we'll stay in touch with the Lions of Arizona. Thank you, Governor Keith, for the honor. And I will pass that information on to my child bride, who is out right now shopping for new furniture. Thank you much.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us from Florida today, and thank you for all that you've done. I'm come to the very last part of recognitions and awards I want to do today. I would like to recognize our immediate past district governor, Chris Gibbs, who is truly a dear and close friend of mine, outside of Lions in so many different ways, and our families, other community service organizations. The help that he's given me this year and leading into last year is unbelievable. We wouldn't have achieved the things that we have done without him being there for us and for me personally. I don't know how bright he is, because he's agreed to be the first vice district governor next year again and put himself through all of this. But we literally could not have made a better choice going forward. I wanted to go back and try to track how many service hours just Chris had done himself, and I wasn't able to do that, but it literally would be in the thousands of hours just in his own home club, to say nothing of all the others and state ones that he's done. So I'm very pleased to honor him. I almost didn't do this because I didn't want to do this virtually, but I don't know when else, and I wanted to do it while I was district governor, something that is ridiculously overdue. So on behalf of all of us here, members of this district line, Chris, we express our sincere gratitude to you and award you a Melvin Jones Fellowship. And we're proud to be part of your team and proud that you're coming on. Brian, if Chris would like to say something, if you would turn him on, we would appreciate it.
Well, you really, thank you so much. I'm a man of few words, but thanks.
No.
No, really. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, Lion Chris. That's the best speech you've ever given. And thank you for all you've done. And thank you for all that you will continue to do. This concludes the program part of our meeting today. Our business has been concluded. We have a little bit of time, and I don't want to stretch it out and take every bit of time we have. But if there's some shout outs that people would like to make, this is not a time for a suggestion. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do this thing. I'll say Bridget until the end. If some people want to mention some things that I haven't and they're short one sentences, I'll let you do that. You can put your hand up, and Brian, whoever's doing that, we'll be happy to hear from you, because I know there are so many things that I've missed.
I'm watching for hands or written comments. Barb has those.
It's okay if we don't, too. I'm just giving you the opportunity.
I'm not waiting. One hand up. Chris Gibbs, you're still unmuted. So go ahead, Chris.
Right, I was just, was DG Richard able to get on now?
Yes, he is here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
If I might, even before he says anything, please, anyone he asks to be on the cabinet, help with the district, please say yes. Thank you.
Good point. Any other accolades, thanks, obvious things that have been missed?
I don't see any other hands up.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you all. Once again, our last item is I'm going to give some time to our incoming District Governor, Richard Hopkins. I know that he's just beginning to form his cabinet, but you're welcome to introduce whatever you've got at this time. Lion Richard, so I'll give you a few moments. It's yours.
And you can share your camera also, Richard. It's turned on if you want to use it.
How do I do that?
I'll send you a request.
Oh, I think I did it. There we go.
There you go, sir.
You did it.
Yes. Well, thank you. This has been a weird year for everybody. I was recuperating from a long stay in the hospital, and just when I was getting things back in line, I tested positive and was out for 3 weeks. And that was at the time we were starting to refill Goodyear. And then my sister, who owns the insurance agency here, she passed away middle of January, and we've been really busy and tied up and trying to do all of those things that needs to happen when you need to do when that happens. First and foremost, what I want to see for this next year is we need to save our clubs. We loaned Goodyear one of our members. We had to have one member in there by the end of December to keep their charter from 1945 alive. We loaned them one of our members. He joined the police department here with me in 1976, and he's been a Lion for a way lot longer than I have, and he said he would do whatever it was taken to help us. We're working with the North to they're going to loan some of their members to one of our clubs here in the South so that we can keep them going over in the East Valley. If you can help the neighboring club keep going, we need to do that. And secondly, we have some clubs that are just, haven't done anything for a year, not through no fault of their own, and they're just, why do we need to keep going? Because we haven't. So we need to make sure we keep all of those clubs as well. I know everybody's been hurting with the fundraising this year, but I really think all of our clubs need to join their local chambers of commerce. Costs us $225 a year. We get the meeting room twice a month for our meetings, and whenever else it's available for at night, weekends. They give us the code to get in so we can use it whenever we need to. Some of the clubs that are hesitant in our area, $50 a year to join your chamber. Between 50 and the most expensive, I think, was 500. We get emails a couple times a week, and one of them had something interesting. So we submitted an application, and because we weren't allowed to have our golf tournament, which is our major fundraiser, the government gave us $17,026 in a grant to make up for it, which we wouldn't have known about if we weren't members of our Chamber of Commerce. So we need to do that. Plus, that's a good place to get members and good place to get exposure, because you get to tell them what you're doing in your communities. Hopefully this, we can keep up the good work that Keith has done. I know it's been trying. I did not want the last year to be what happened to me and not being able to do anything. Just at the end of last year when I was finally able to get up and around and move a lot, got sick and everything else. I did go to Florence, the club meeting, just to say hello because I used to live there, and they meet at the restaurant with the best green chili burritos in the entire state. So I had to go there for dinner. And then one of the Mesa clubs, I think it was Fountain of the Sun, we met like this and I installed their new officers. Went to Gila Bend with Diane, who's coordinating for our club and their club. The migrant relief. Then last Saturday I was in San Luis and met with 2 of their members who happen to be old friends anyway. So I've been getting out a little bit, but we hope to get out a whole heck of a lot more. But other than that, I'm reaching out to people, followed suggestions, and hopefully we can have a lot of names. Have a telephone call today with the person for GLT that I think everybody will be happy if she says yes. So thank you all. Thank you, Keith. Camp Tadia for me. That's really important. And please help your neighboring clubs. Please steal ideas from your neighboring clubs to help them work with yours. Please offer your ideas to your neighboring clubs. But let's hit the ground running. Be meeting in person with hybrid like we kind of, like we do in our schools now. If you want to show up in person, you show up. Otherwise, you can see it like this. But we'll have a kickoff in August, and then our district convention in February, and trying to make it centralized location in between most of us in Phoenix and Tucson. So we all have to drive a little bit. Nobody really has to stay overnight except for Keith and Chris, unless they want to drive back home. So thank you all. I look forward to it, and can't wait to see everybody in August.
Thank you very much, incoming district governor. Thank you all once again for attending today. Thank you for your amazing and wonderful service throughout the year. Thank you, Brian and Sheila, specifically for what we've done here today. We've got a chat up there, but I think everybody declined when I had the opportunity. So we will we'll leave a little bit early. I want to remind you that the North 21 Inn cabinet meeting is tomorrow morning. Our multiple district convention is tomorrow afternoon. You should have received those links. If not, contact myself, contact Sheila, contact Brian, and we'll make sure that you have those. So anyway, thank you all again, and I wish you all the best for our upcoming year with our new administration. So enjoy your afternoon and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Good job. Thank you. Bye.